Hello everyone, very long time no see, I must say. I'm here today with a empties video. I really enjoy watching these and it's kind of a really good segue to why I've just been missing. Part of it has been life. I recently got like my professional engineering designation and there's just been like a lot going on. School has been crazy. Work has also been ramping up in certain areas. And in general, I am also trying to touch grass as much as possible this summer, like be outside, see my friends, etc. And all of that has just compounded into me not having the time. Okay, having the time is one thing. The other thing is I have not been motivated because I've really been struggling to find my why. Now, being an influencer is it's not really my thing. I think I started this because I was like, well, I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. I love talking, and I realized that the part I really enjoyed was chronicling my life, and I also just like putting my thoughts in a place that's maybe like a different format compared to like a journal, because I feel like a journal is very internal, like no one's seeing that, but presenting my thoughts was actually also really helping my public speaking skills. And I really feel like just my overall ability to explain and condense information, etc., has improved so much this year. And just like the way my timing in terms of speech has changed has been really positive. So anyway, also, I'm just not interested in being an influencer because I feel like that was part of the disillusionment. Now that I've started like creating, that's why they say like create more than you consume. And that's like really, my cat is just, if you see the camera shaking, Shorty is trying to knock it off. Sweetie, now that I've been creating more than I consume, I have just the conspicuous, there she is. This conspicuous consumerism has just been too much. So I can't do that. I don't want to really be like an influencer who's like, these are the products that you need to buy, it'll change your life. No, I want to be really like, honestly, not to be corny, but kind of like big sister advice. Like I'm not sponsored. I'm very lucky to not need an influencer career to thrive, but I want to keep it real with you guys. And even if no one is watching these videos, I just want to film and have fun and like chronicle my life and being cute in my 20s. Grab a drink. I hand painted this mug. I did not cast it. I'm not that talented in terms of pottery. Pottery is a hobby that I would like to explore next year. But anyway, I want this channel to be like talking about my life and like things I want to do and my life outside of social media, and for this to be like a chronicle of that rather than the flip side where my life becomes social media. So anyway, that being said, welcome. I have been collecting all of the empties that I have basically for all of like my skincare, body care, hair care, makeup, etc. since the beginning of the year. So this is 6 months of empties. I also have like a really strict rule. I hate clutter. I hate like collecting things, etc. At most, if I find a product that I really like, I will have a double of it so that I don't run out of it. If it's something that I can't buy, something is going on back here. Anyway, if it's something that I can't buy immediately. So for example, like I won't have a double of toothpaste. I'll just note, okay, I'm like 2 days out from running out of toothpaste and I'll go get more. But if it's something like, oh, I order a lot of Korean skincare, for example, I'll order doubles of things that I like and keep them so that I know I have them in stock. But yeah, I don't like clutter. I live by a 1 in 1 out rule. So anyway, it's still quite a few empties. So we're going to go in no particular order whatsoever, just whatever I grab out of this like literal container here. But this is the Amika Soul Food, sorry, there's hair on it, yuck. This is the Amika Soul Food hair mask. I really liked this. I used to wash my hair like once a week, and then I started, you know, like the Abby Young method or whatever. Like, I know it's not like her method, but she definitely popularized it. One of the things she discussed was washing your hair often, and that oil training is not real. And once I started washing my hair like 2 to 3 times a week, I was like, she is right. Because the cleaner my scalp got, the more my hair grew and the longer it got and like the more shiny and just healthy it got. So I definitely believe in that. But anyway, I have curly hair. It's up in a claw clip right now, sorry, but you probably would have seen it in my other videos. And I detangle in the shower. So I typically look for a very deep conditioning mask that I can spread on my hair and then comb all of it through my hair, detangle, and then I leave it in a claw clip for like 3 to 4 minutes, do the rest of everything in my shower, and then I'll rinse it out. This was good. It smelled nice. It got the job done. Did I notice any permanent benefits to my hair? No. I feel like it did the job. My hair didn't like progressively get softer over time. It didn't get progressively shinier over time. It did its job. It was good. My frizz is always a problem because I have so many baby hairs as a result of something else, which I can discuss later in the video if I remember. But yeah, this did its job. It's fine. I liked the size of this. This did last me like quite a bit. It was a little bit on the expensive side though. This was $52, but you get a decent amount. It did last me quite a bit because you don't need to use that much. So I would recommend it. I believe I have type 2 hair, if that is of concern to anyone. My curl pattern changes a lot depending on the length of my hair, which is pretty normal because the heavier your hair is, typically your curls will like stretch out. But yeah, anyway, if that's of use to anyone. One product down. There's like 20 million to go. The next one, actually this one I should probably go in order. So as you can see, I really did like this body lotion. This is the Eucerin Complete Repair Moisturizing Lotion. These are the same ones. Last year I finished a bottle of the 10% urea, so this one's like 5% urea, and that one was really good. It's really good for like exfoliating, but also really deeply moisturizing your skin. These are amazing. I kind of started using them when I was like growing up. They weren't super readily available in Thailand, but my mom has always really liked French pharmacy type skincare, etc. So she was really, really into these, and I did try these a couple times. And then when I was on Accutane, like I was like peeling. I literally looked like a lizard. There was a period of time where I was on Accutane both before and after, where one, I didn't like the acne before, so I didn't take any pictures. And then when I was on Accutane, I was peeling so badly on a relatively low dose, mind you. I didn't take any pictures as well. So I'll try and look in the archives to see if I have any, but I looked like a lizard. This was like the only thing that would help the scaliness, but it would also not irritate like my raw skin. So I really, really liked this. Now, I was looking for like a kind of more affordable option because these are getting a little bit too expensive in Canada, even for the price. And I did find one that I really liked, and it's Canadian, so double win. This is the Dermal Therapy Extra Strength Body Lotion. They have a lot of different options. The one I have is the 10% urea, 5% AHA. This is like super exfoliating. Okay, that's an exaggeration. It's exfoliating, but like over a period of time, so it's quite gentle, I would say, but it definitely gets the job done. I have really dry skin on my body, and I just feel so like moisturized and comfortable and glowy with this. There's no smell, so I feel like it is fragrance free. So I think this is a really good option for like sensitive skin girlies who are still looking for something a little bit exfoliating, because I do know that, you know, a lot of things that like go viral on Skin Talk, they can be quite harsh. Now so like people will do like glycolic acid before moisturizer. That was what I was doing actually. So that's also another empty in here. Previously, I was layering with the glycolic acid, just like a few drops, mind you, mixed into my moisturizer. And now it's like I get the benefit of that in one moisturizer, and it's formulated to just be gentler. And yeah, it's just like overall, I feel like my skin isn't as dry and like scaly as it was. It's like very, very soft, which I really, really appreciate. The other thing the big disclaimer that I will say, if you are wearing a moisturizer or you are using like a AHA pre-treatment, please wear body sunscreen. Your skin is like so much more susceptible to sun damage. I typically, like on a day-to-day basis, I will mostly have like my forearms out. So like I only apply sunscreen on my forearms and like my neck, obviously, and my face. But because like I work in a professional environment, so it is what it is. But when I'm like out and about, sunscreen everywhere, doesn't matter, just do it. Skin cancer is like real and it's really, really scary. And the other thing, which is like a little bit of a vain, frankly speaking, thing to say, is if you look at the scars from skin cancer, they're really scary. They literally have to like cut out parts of your skin. So wear your sunscreen. Don't forget, okay? It's worth the extra money because you'll be spending way more to like get your skin cut off of you, which is not fun for anyone. Anyway, this kind of like ties up the conversation around this. This was nice. It's really strong, so you do have to be really careful with how much you're mixing into your moisturizer. Oh, the other thing, I do my own hair removal on like my underarms and things like that. This doesn't irritate me at all because I do moisturize my underarms, and you should be moisturizing your underarms because they're still part of your body, okay? So moisturize before you put deodorant on, especially if your deodorant's like aluminum based, because that can be really drying. This hurt to put on my underarms, so I would just like, this is like a much better swap overall, and it still gives me like that silky smooth effect, and it's one product, which means less clutter. There's just so many wins for this. But yes, what should I pick next? There's so many interesting things in here. I will go for some hair care because why not? So there's something that's missing here that I cannot believe is missing, but I will explain it. So I went through the Super Milk Protein Shampoo. This lasted me quite a long time, which I really liked. Loved the scent. It really helps like deep clean your hair, which I also appreciate. Just a note, but I think I mentioned it in the last video, I talked about this. This doesn't smell like milk. This smells like a lemon cake. Granted, really delicious lemon cake, but it's lemon, okay? And what I also found out recently is I believe the original formulation is their tofu shampoo. That smells like a super clean fragrance. It smells like really herby and like lemony. So then they kind of made this a little bit more gourmand and like sweet, but that totally made sense to me because their original formulation is like super herby and like fresh smelling. And like now they've really just, that's where the milk comes into. They've added that dessert like fragrance. But this is really good. I highly recommend it. I recently switched to the tofu shampoo, which is basically like a slightly less stripping version of this. I was finding that sometimes after a wash, but even if I did pre-condition with like oil, like I'll oil my hair and then go into the wash because that helps with breakage. This was still a little bit too drying sometimes. So I switched to the tofu, and even though I like the scent of that a little bit less because I did really like how this smelled, it is like the perfect balance of cleansing, but also not stripping. But yes, I really enjoyed this. Then in between, actually, I tried out the banana shampoo because I love banana. Like it's literally one of my favorite fruits. I don't care that if you put it in a smoothie, it like dive bombs the flavor. I like that, actually. I love banana. And I love banana smelling things. So I wanted to try this out. The formula of this is really strange. It's like a suspension. Let's talk about it, okay? It was very odd when I first saw it. My partner was also like, he literally opened it and he was like, is that what it's supposed to look like? And I was like, yeah, I guess. It was very strange. It's like a liquid molasses consistency, but then there's really big salt crystals in there. So my main concern is always whenever you use like a physical exfoliant on any part of your body, especially like your head, I was like, what if I'm like causing breakage by doing this? I didn't notice any. So I don't think that's that much of a risk, but I'm also quite, like I get in with my scalp, but I'm not like rough. So mind your technique. It smelled absolutely fantastic. Lush knocks it out of the park every single time with their scents. Like we don't have to do the discussion, okay? The scent profile is always banging. So great job. This did get my hair really, really clean, but what I did notice was I had to like pour it out or like scoop it, and I feel like I was using a little bit too much every single time. So I was like wasting product. So overall, I think this is like fine. It did make my hair really soft, which is nice, but I got the same effect from like my other shampoos and conditioners anyway. So I don't think I was missing out on much. Yeah, the texture is like a real no-go for me, unfortunately. Now, what I don't have here is I have literally the equivalent of like one of the little pots and then one of the big pots of the Power, there we go, the Power Deep Conditioner. I love that. Like I literally have no notes. It smells so rich and fabulous and it's so deep conditioning. I can literally put it on my hair and then immediately detangle. Like it's just insane to me that that is possible. And my hair is so soft and supple and like not frizzy and bouncy and shiny, etc. Love it. No notes. That's literally my holy grail conditioner, deep conditioning, whatever, right now. Love it. That's all there. Let's finish off hair care. Kristen S deep clarifying shampoo. There's still like a little bit left, but like no. When I first started really getting serious about the product buildup in my hair, I would use this like once a week. I think it made a really big difference in the beginning, but then once my hair kind of reached a baseline where I was cleansing properly, washing double shampoo, then conditioner 3 times a week, my hair was like, girl, we don't need the extra help. This became really, really stripping. And I am not a fan of the scent. Like it's fine, but it just smells so, it just smells a little bit too chemically compared to like now the Lush scents, honestly. So sorry girl, but she did the job when I needed her to. Was it the best clarifying shampoo I've ever used? No, but you know, she lasted me quite a while. She got the job done. If you're in the market for a clarifying shampoo, definitely look at it. It was fine. Pads. So this is my really big disclaimer, okay? Going back to the whole underconsumption or normal consumption thing and creating waste, I have always had a very complicated relationship. I feel like I'm in a therapy session, sorry guys, with sheet masks and toner pads. They're a huge staple in the K-beauty world because, well, frankly speaking, I feel like the K-beauty world, Korea as a society their skincare and beauty industry is like so serious. Is it serious in the West? Yes. But over there, it's like so serious because going out to skincare clinics and like getting treatments done, etc., that's like a routine thing. It's being normalized here, but it's not as much of a routine thing here, right? And part of that, I think, is skincare developments that are happening in clinics are then being translated at a very rapid pace, or I should say things that are happening in professional settings, which includes makeup artistry, that's very important, are then being translated at a rapid pace for like your everyday average consumer to be able to buy. And toner pads are a huge thing. So I have always noticed like a lot of makeup artists love toner pads because they're honestly really convenient. You get a pad that's pre-soaked with toner, right? You can honestly also turn these into a little portable sheet mask because you can slap on like 4 pads, cover like most of the face. They're so much more portable than like sheet masks. You just get more bang for your buck, etc. Now, I just feel like it creates a lot of waste. I don't like it. Specifically when I bought this one, which I really did like the product. This is the Jiwooge Heart Leaf BHA peeling pad. I'm so sorry to any Korean people watching. I butchered that, so sorry. That's my apology. These were fantastic. I think I talked about them in like a previous monthly favorites, but the smell, first of all, it really gives you like that spa vibe. It smells like tea tree, love it. And these were so gentle. I picked up toner pads initially because I went to a wedding last year and my skin was driving me insane. Like I was just like oily here and then my forehead was like scale city and I was so stressed the day of because I was like, oh my God, like I need to figure this out, etc. And then I was like, okay, maybe I should try like toner pads just for like certain occasions and like just once a week really exfoliate my skin, etc. So I picked these up and they have really done a good job. They gave me a good baseline, I should say. Now my skincare routine, I have started using azelaic acid, and I feel like that has really helped overall with the peeling, and that's a serum. So I feel less bad about using that. But the advantage with these pads was they had like a rougher side and a softer side. So I would use like the rougher side on areas that needed a little bit more TLC. So like my nose, my lips, maybe like behind my ears too, because why not? It's multi-purpose. And then the softer side, like on the rest of my face. These did a great job. Would I pick them up again? There's absolutely nothing wrong with the product itself. I just don't agree with the philosophy. So no, because if I can find something that exfoliates without the need for creating waste, I will pick it. Sorry. Yeah, that's that. I picked these up. These are the 9 Less Kojic Acid Glow Pads. I use the azelaic acid from this brand. My partner uses the azelaic acid from this brand. Great brand. Once again, I picked these up specifically because, as I said earlier, the glycolic acid was really rough on my underarms, but I did want something that could help like break up any ingrowns, etc., dead skin, whatever. And this was the alternative I found. This was really good. And now, especially with this, I don't need this anymore. So it did its job. She's, she came, she slayed, she conquered, like she left, that's all we need to know. She's good. Would I recommend these for your face? I don't know, because I didn't test them on my face. That's my answer to you for that, but yes. Oh my God, OG, this is like filthy. I'm so sorry. As you can see, I use this, and I also use this when I was removing makeup. So that's why it's like gross and brown. But this is the Vanilla Co. Clean It Zero Purifying Cleansing Balm. If you were part or an observer on like OG YouTube, you probably would have seen a pink version of these, but it's a cleansing balm. It's like you put it on first without any water, rub it into your face, and then you add water. Now, this definitely did its job. It was great at removing makeup. The only thing this has ever struggled to remove for me was the Clio Kill Lash. But if you've ever used that mascara, it is genuinely like, the first time I wore it, I was just like, I'm just gonna have to wait until my eyelashes fall off for this mascara to like leave, because it's so strong. And I experimented with like quite a few cleansing balms to get it off. And anyway, I didn't need that level of like, because my lashes do hold a curl pretty well. And overall, like, mascara works pretty well on them. So I didn't need the help, okay? And it was too much work. But otherwise, this is fantastic. It really helped, like, also, I have noticed that some of the texture on my face, when it's like a blackhead or like a congested pore, it would reduce quite well when I would use this, because it would just like help kind of ease that congestion. I have recently transitioned to the Dr. Althea grinding cleansing balm, the blue one. And the reason for that is I love a product that multitasks. Once again, going back to this, okay? And the one thing I wasn't getting from this was any like real skincare benefit, like no conditioning, nothing. So I wanted to try something else. And the blue one is the one that I found. Now, I really do like that one. I would say I like the cleansing of this a little bit better, because I like the texture of this when you wash everything off a little bit more. That one is very like oil based, so it kind of stays on your skin a little bit, but I always follow it up with a second cleanse. So it frankly doesn't matter to me that much. Next on the list, I have 2 of these Sol 1988 serums, retinol liposome 2% plus black ginseng. So these are really great. I currently use a retinol like every single night. I just think it's really nice. It really helps with my acne. There's obviously like the anti-aging aspect of this. Wear your sunscreen in the morning though, okay? Please don't play with that. But I like these. They were so gentle. They also really helped like refine my skin texture. If you're a retinol beginner, I would highly recommend these. It's also retinol, not retinol. Technically, it's still a vitamin A derivative for your skin, but very gentle, good stuff. Nothing else to say. I also got this as like a freebie, and this is the Sol 1988 eye cream, same product line. Retinol liposome 4% plus fermented bean. I was actually using this as a face serum because I put face serum under my eyes too. And I know people are like, eye cream will like change your life. Once again, I don't really like buying hyper targeted products, and I have never had that experience. Like, there's never been a moment where I've put something on my face that has irritated my under eyes. You know, like if it's irritating my under eyes, it's gonna be irritating the rest of my face too. So that's what I'll say about that. So I was using this on my face. It's a little bit stronger, great stuff, nothing to note. I think that if you're like slowly stepping up your retinol use, going through this line at higher percentages is honestly a great plan because it's very, very gentle and it will get the job done. So I do have one thing missing, which I may have tossed out, but it was the 9 less azelaic acid, like that little green serum thing, which I'm also using it right now, but I do have an empty of it. It's really good. That's all I'll say. I transitioned to azelaic acid because once again, I was looking for exfoliation, and that and the combination of retinol, which I try to do one active per, like an exfoliating active essentially, in the morning and then one at night. So the one I was using in the morning was the azelaic acid, and then I use a retinol at night. Now, I'm just gonna put this one down for a second. I have really no notes. It hasn't like irritated my skin. I feel like it's made a really big difference, both just for my bare skin and also under makeup. Great, highly would recommend it. At a certain point, if you feel like your skin journey is not going as well as you think, if you have the means to do so, because obviously this is a very privileged take, please see a dermatologist, because you can get so many actives covered through your health insurance for free, etc., at higher percentages also, which is a big plus if you go through a derm. I have been looking after my skin and like trying out various cocktails by myself since I was 12 years old. I was 15 years, oh my God. I've also seen derms many times throughout my life, and the biggest changes to my skin have been when I was seeing a derm. But it's also like fun to try out new products and like certain things, and I think you kind of have to balance them both. But anyway, that's my disclaimer. Also, diet is a huge part of your skin health. Oh, okay. Can I help you? Someone's like losing her mind, sorry. But we'll talk about that in another video, okay? So this is also an azelaic acid serum. I have wanted to try out PDRN. It was originally derived from salmon sperm, which is what a crazy ingredient. But when it was used in clinical settings, let's put it that way, it had a lot of benefits related to like plumping, firming of the skin, etc. And so a lot of it has been, you know, like vegan PDRN. It's like it's derived, it's really big right now, and a lot more products are coming up. So I picked up this Rose PDRN soothing serum with azelaic acid. It doesn't tell you the percentages of either, which I am not a fan of, but the packaging is gorgeous. It's from Haru Haru Wonder. This was really nice. It didn't irritate my skin. I think, refined my texture a little bit. My number one thing with this is I felt like I just went through it too fast for its price, and it was fine. But she's cute, sitting on your little like bathroom vanity, very cute. I have talked about her. This is the Madagascar Centella Probiotica Intensive Ampoule from Skin 1004. I've talked about her quite a few times. I had quite a few empties of her last year. Now this is the problem I have, which I think I discussed in a previous like Get Ready With Me. The formula of this is quite viscous. When I purchased it earlier, I purchased like the small bottle and I loved it. So obviously I got the big bottle. They did not update the packaging to account for the fact that you have very viscous fluid going through a dropper that's the same diameter but double the length. So getting this out of the packaging, hell. And then also the last third, oh my God. Getting it out of the packaging, once again, hell. I literally just had to store it like this. But that was a problem because I take my skincare to the gym with me, and then I'd just be in the gym bathroom like trying to get it out and looking crazy. So anyway, Skin 1004, fix your packaging, okay? Because this is a great product and it's clearly not reaching its full potential. I am currently using a PDRN toner, which I am really liking, but I'm still marinating in it a little bit. So when I have more thoughts about that, I will discuss it. A couple of makeup empties, which aren't really empties. They passed away before their prime, let's put it that way. But I have this Kosas liquid glitter eyeshadow. I got this in a sample set, actually. I don't know why I'm like trying to swatch it on my hand. It's dry, that's the problem. This thing, it's a really lovely like pinky coral shiny color. I really like the shift. It's like a white gold shift on this. I didn't really reach for it that much because I felt like it creased a lot, and I would always use it as like a multi-dimensional underpainting type situation. Like I'd put it on first and then I'd set it. I'd try to not set and set, and that made zero difference whatsoever. Great. And then I would put an eyeshadow over it, and then it would just give you like this really nice like underpainted multi-dimensional effect. But then it would crease, and then I would get irritated, and then I didn't reach for it, and then it dried out. So yeah, flop. I think the formula is frankly just a little bit too emollient. They need to work on that. But there's so many other glitter sticks, paints, etc. that have a better formula that are also more shiny. So yeah, was this more convenient? I guess, but also the finish wasn't good. So at the end of the day, flop. The color was pretty, I guess, but you can achieve that color with like so many different other ways. This one made me really sad, okay? As you can see, she's looking a little bit crazy in there. RIP, genuinely. What this used to give me is like this perfect pinky flush with a little bit of glow, which is perfect because I love cheek highlighter, but it's once again, two products when I could just get a shiny blush. It had a really similar effect, in my opinion, to the Hourglass blushes or the Milani blushes, which are all baked blushes. And anyway, I don't know what happened. I didn't drop my makeup bag. Everything else that's powder based in my makeup bag, absolutely fine. I open it up one day and this has just crumbled to bits. So RIP. I don't even know if this... By the way, I got this blush because I was subscribed to Ipsy, which is like Michelle Phan's makeup subscription service for 1 month because I was curious. And out of the entire box, this was the winner. But as you can see, she's flopped too. So draw your own conclusions. This is the Formula Z Mini Blush in Extra Fierce. This lasted me quite a while. Okay, I was like, I'm gonna take this to my grave because it lasted me so long. But apart from it crumbling, she was good, she's fine. I did find a pinky reflective blush that I really like. I'm wearing it today. Do you see that? Do we see that? Like, this is so serious. This is the kind of finish I want, where I'm like, oh, you can see a flush? Bam, my skin looks healthy and glowy. That's what I want. So can you layer? Yes. I don't want to layer. I just one and done. Okay. I have also, side note, been trying out Painted by Esther's blush technique, and I really like it. So yeah, anyway, those are all of my empties. I've been phasing out a lot of single-use products and trying to have as many multi-use products as possible. But anyway, thank you so much for watching my video. Have a great week. Bye.